All right, so we are 2 weeks deep into the semester, which is interesting. It's going pretty good so far, I would say. I'm rather enjoying my classes. I've always known that at some point I'm going to have to start preparing for post-graduation, the world outside of college. And I've just been really bad at procrastinating at that, because I procrastinated everything in life, let's be honest. But with this being my second to last semester, I only have 5 classes left, because my next semester I only have 1 class. I've started to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's been kind of motivation for me to prepare, which I know it's kind of ironic because of this, I have less time now to prepare than I did, but I also now have the motivation to do it, if that makes any kind of sense. So I'm kind of getting into the full swing of that, in kind of a couple respects. I do live near an airport, so I've started to do that in a couple respects. And I wanted to kind of cover all the bases, if that makes any sense. So when I say bases, I mean potential job opportunities. And that's either going to be in some type of like business analytic type sense, data science, or if I decide that I want to go into communication of some kind, science communication, science writing. So to cover my science writing base, I have my internship, which is going pretty well. There's been some stuff I didn't really expect, but it is what it is. I kind of have to take it in stride and, do the best I can with it. Can't really go into detail because I'm writing for a university. So, but it's still a good experience, even if some things are a bit of a hiccup that are a little bit disappointing. I still have I'm still learning about the whole workflow and how this content gets made and the ins and outs and the intricacies of that, which is interesting regardless, even if I wasn't writing. So I'm still glad for the opportunity at the end of the day. If I want to decide to go into science writing, that's really great to have on the resume. The fact that I'm doing science writing now, the fact that I'm doing it for free, so what? It's still a great experience. I don't even care. And to cover like the business analytic or the data science, I've finally gotten back into. Well, it's hard to say I'm getting back into it because I was never really into it to begin with, for not including the horrible MATLAB class I took a year and a half ago. I've finally gotten into programming, primarily Python right now. I started a GitHub like 6 months ago. I opened up a repository and I finally put a program in it last week. And granted, it's a very small, simple program. It's like 8 or 10 lines. And it's very simple, but that's what I wanted to start with. I wanted to start with something simple that worked, and I ran it, and I got some confidence, and I decided that the world of programming is vast, and there's so many things you can do and so many things you can build with it, all kinds of stuff going on. There's just generic programming, there's automation, there's machine learning, there's artificial intelligence. There's just so much to do, and when there's so much to do, it's hard to pick one thing. So I decided that I would start small and just slowly take on projects that are a little bit more complicated, So the program that I wrote takes 2 points in 2-dimensional space, so Cartesian space, and it finds the distance between them with just the generic distance formula that you learn in high school geometry. And so that was fun. Didn't take me very long to write. I got a couple bugs and I was able to sort those out. And it's cool. I have something under my belt. It's not much, but it's a great place to start. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do next. I might just pick something generic. It's nice to find a project to do that's going to benefit me in my life, but man, most of those have already been done, and so I think at this point it's just a good idea to do something that's a little more challenging. Maybe it's already been done, so what? It might also be math related, but I'd like to incorporate something else, like maybe an API, which I haven't started learning about, but I'd like to. I know that a lot of people are using them for projects and they can be really, really useful, so I want to get into that. Beyond that, maybe some machine learning. Beyond that, maybe some AI. I don't know that those things will be especially applicable to a data science or a business analytic type job, but it's still good experience, and it's another door that I can go through and learn about another aspect of programming. So that's ultimately what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get reasonably well-rounded, self-taught coding experience. Beyond the coding side, I'd also like to get back into stats. I've only taken an intro to probability course, and that, that's like statistics light, but that's hardly even that. So I know that if I even want to consider a data science job, I need to have a solid stats foundation and background, and right now I have none of that. So I feel like getting stats under my belt and getting programming under my belt beyond Python, I want to jump into SQL. Also gonna be a must for any kind of data science or data mining type job. It's gonna be necessary. I feel like those are the big two, Python and SQL. And then also my writing, I feel like covers a lot of the mathy type jobs, covers most of those bases. Beyond that, I think I want to consider getting maybe some certifications of some kind, whether that's Microsoft Office Suite or something more specific like Excel or something like that. I'm not sure what's out there, but I'd like to look into that, because I really want to. The last thing I want to do is struggle to find a job because I'm lacking some type of qualification that everybody wants, and I don't have. That just terrifies me. So another airplane. So a lot of my time right now is centered on preparing for post-college. I don't have my main job anymore. I'm still tutoring privately, which I do for 4 hours a week. It's $80, relatively easy money, and I enjoy it. So I'm going to keep doing that. Next semester, when I only have one class, I'll probably take on several more clients, and that'll be a solid part-time job. And at that point, I'll continue to prepare for the real world when I get a job, because I still don't know whether or not I'm going to get like a true full-time job straight out of graduation, because I've said several times before we'll be moving 3 or 4 months after that, and I'm still not sure where we're moving to, but it's looking more and more like we'll be going back to Auburn, which is nice, but it poses its own challenges just because it's a small job market and it's a relatively small town, especially compared to here, Tampa. So there's just a lot of other stuff, but I'm starting to kind of narrow the field and try and hone in on some concrete goals, because I've always been like, well, I want to do these things, but which is nice to have goals, but they got to be specific, otherwise you can't accomplish them, right? I also have a small math project that I'm starting with a friend of mine who is a marketing major here at USF, and who's also a Marine vet, which is cool. And that's just kind of like a fun math extracurricular thing, so we'll see. What else do we got going on? Not really a whole lot. Class is taking up a lot of my time, and of course this extracurricular learning is taking up a lot of my time, and I'm trying to be formal with it, taking notes, all of this kind of stuff. I'm staying busy, but I don't feel overwhelmed with it, at least not yet. But I'm feeling productive. I'm setting goals and meeting them, and that's all I can really ask for. The hazards of filming outside. So I'm setting goals, I'm meeting them, I feel good about them, they feel like productive and meaningful goals, and that's all I can really ask for right now. So things are going well. Turned 28 2 days ago. Woof. There's that, getting older, closing in on 30. Once I get a little farther into some of my classes, I might make some videos about those. Cryptography is proving to be pretty interesting. That also includes a programming aspect, so that's another reason to learn another language, which is Maple. I didn't think I would have to encounter Maple until next semester with my symbolic computations course, but it will be necessary in this class, so sooner the better, I reckon. More time to get experience. But anyhow, yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. See you next time.